It's Brian Preston, the Money Guy.
First up, we got Robbie from YouTube. He says, is it okay to prioritize Roth IRA and HSA over the 401k employer match if the 401k has a long vesting time? He said his vesting time, it takes 2 years to vest any of it, and then 6 years to be fully vested. And if you're not familiar with our financial order of operations, normally we would say 401k match is like step 2, really important. But this is a great question about what if it's not vested and it takes time to actually get that full like oomph behind the 401k match.
I got to tell you, this is a great question. And I'm thinking of all of our Q&As. We haven't, I don't know that we've had somebody ask this specifically, but I love it. And
what happens if my free money has some like handcuffs on it?
Well, the good news is, Robbie, you are the person making the decision of how you lead your life. You're the leading character. It's not like you're the supporting character waiting for the script to come to you and figure out, hey, how am I going to navigate this? So you probably will quickly know, what do I think about my employer? What do I think about my long-term job prospects here? Because part of what's going to determine this step 2 versus step 5 of the financial order of operations is how happy am I and how likely am I going to be here for, because it's, look, let's break this down, because you said 2 years you get some, probably the 20%.
Sure, 2 year, 3 6 year great investing.
So here's a quick thing though that I want to, that's going to probably dispel and still keep the financial order of operations on a good path forward. Even if it's 2 years, get you 20%. 20%'s better than most credit card rates, what they charge on that stuff. If you make it 3 years at 40%, that's still a great rate of return. If I came to you and said, hey, if you give me $5, I'll give you $6 back, you'd probably be like, yeah, okay, I hope I have a lot of $5 bills in my pocket. I mean, it's just one of those things, and you're definitely going to think that, hey, give me $10, I'll give you $14, if you would work there another year. You're not going to miss out on that opportunity. So I still think, and look, Robbie, like I said, if you think you're leaving in 2 months from now, then that's one thing. But if you think you're going to be there for 2 years, even 3 years, I'm still going to tell you, I think you ought to prioritize getting that free money, because it's super valuable, especially if you think about in terms of what's guaranteed rates of return. That's what's going to give you the context.
All right, I agree 100%. But my answer, if you want to just get the Cliff Notes quick one, free money, do the employer match. However, this is how I think you got to kind of think about this, because this is an interesting math equation, right? I think you got to take the Roth IRA out of the equation for a moment, because most plans allow you to do Roth 401k, right? So if I could put money in a Roth IRA or I could put money in a Roth 401k, I'm getting the same benefit. And by the way, if I put it in my Roth 401k, I'm going to be eligible for the match, right? So those kind of seem equal to me. The HSA is where it gets a little bit tricky, right? Because one of the benefits of health savings accounts is that they are triple tax advantage. Not only can you put the money in there and it can grow, but when you put the money in, you get a current year tax deduction for doing that. So if Robbie only has like $1 and he puts it in the 401k versus he puts it in the Roth 401k versus putting in the HSA, he does get a tax deduction in the HSA in this year. The employer match, if it has a 2-year vesting, won't actually come to fruition until 2 years from now. My guess is, though, most of us want to be in our employers for a while. If we're going to be there, we're going to be contributing, adding value. We want to be there. So if it were my money, I would probably still do the employer match. Still do the 401k to go get the employer match. But I would see if I could figure out some kind of way to get money into that HSA, so that way I can get a tax benefit on both sides. And if you're doing the pre-tax 401k, if your income is at a place where you're doing that, well, great, then you're just loading up. So then you should probably do all three. Do the 401k and the HSA and the Roth will be my number one top suggestion recommendation.
And just a point of clarification, because I know I never know where financial meetings are when they're coming to us. Remember, your salary deferrals, what you choose, whether it's traditional, whether it's Roth, tax-free growth opportunity, your salary deferrals are 100% vested immediately.
Yep,
I think a lot of people are nervous. Does that vesting schedule actually apply to my money too? Now, it's only your employer money. Your money is always going to be vested, so pay attention to that. Now, when you get into deferred comp and other things, there's some things to take into account with that. But with your traditional 401ks, 403bs, 457s, your money is your money.